Hey guys, it's Mr. Calderon with Queen My Pawn, and I'll be discussing another question that I got from a lead chess user about how to improve their game. He says, "Hi, I saw your forum post and I'm interested in having my game analyzed if possible. In case you need my username, it's goldenfire4211. Thanks for doing this so much. This is a great way for everyone in the community to learn. P.S. I am playing as black." Yes, absolutely. Golden Fire 4211. I am happy to help you out here. Let's go ahead and see how you won this game and if you can improve on it. So, he was playing as black, so I'll flip the screen for the board. And the game starts e4, e5, bishop c4, knight c6. Normally I like to play knight f6 to directly attack the pawn and see what he does. For example, you get a chance to have them play a mistake so early on in the game, thinking, oh, I'm going to defeat pawn. But actually, this is good for black because after knight takes e4, knight takes e5, d5, this is great for black. So, knight c6, a3 makes no sense. Knight f6, d3. Alright, there we go, being aggressive, that's good. That's a good move. d5, e takes d5, knight takes c5, bishop takes d5. Queen takes d5. I nod my head because like now the queen gets to come out and attack g3 g2 at least. Queen to f3, and naturally I would play bishop to e6 here. You played that's not the right move because you need to bring out your pieces, and this is the best way to do that. Okay, if he plays knight to c3, just move the queen away, and if he captures your queen, then you simply go bishop takes g2. Okay, knight to c3. You know he doesn't have the time, so that's the point. If he attacks your queen, you move it away, and you know what? Maybe even have a counterattack here. I don't think that works. So actually, maybe it does work. No, it doesn't. Yeah, no, it doesn't work. You can go here, and then you can play knight to d4, but obviously you want to make sure your king is safe first. Anyways, yeah, that's not a good move because you help him bring out his pieces. So, knight to f3, bishop to... See, you had to play this move, not only to overprotect the pawn, which is good, but also because you're now actually behind in development. Compare this position to the game position. You're gonna see that you're down in development. So... knight to c3, okay. Castle, he castles. That's not a good move because you're moving a piece twice in the opening. I would try to bring out your pieces that are in the back. So, this is a good start. What's he gonna do about the knight? You know, you're being aggressive. Are you gonna ruin his pawn structure, but yield the bishop pair? If you do, then he takes, you take, and knight to d4 is that much stronger, so... yeah, man, you can't let him gain time like that because in attacks, it's all about time. It's all about how much time you can save. Yeah, it's not a good move. So, knight takes c4, e takes c4, knight to e4. Okay, I mean, your bishop's under attack and you have the bishop pair in an open position. You need to keep that bishop by playing bishop to e5. Oh no, you can't do that. This is actually not a good move because he could do knight takes d6, he took your bishop, and you have double pawns which are weak because he has the right color bishop to attack this pawn, first of all. And you may have an open file over here. But, see how, if I can, you know, I would instantly counterattack, okay? And if he still decides to play something like rook fc8, I would probably just play rook to c1 defending. Rook to c6, rook to e1, rook ac8, and it looks like you're gonna win something, but I would just play h4. You don't have anything. After all, you're getting back ranked. And if you try to play something yourself like h5 or h6, then in the end, when you take this pawn, like, let's see, I would probably get in your back rank. So, yeah, it's gonna be a draw. Yeah, you had the better chances in winning because you have the bishop pair. You cannot yield that bishop pair. It's like the best thing for attacking. You ought to play this bishop e5 and a rook to e1, then g6. And this is not a weakness because you have the right colored bishop. So if you play something like bishop to h6, you have rook fd8, rook d8, and yeah, basically your bishop is safe. It can always retreat to h8 or even g7 if you want to trade bishops, which I wouldn't recommend doing. Maybe you have b6 and bishop to b7, activating it along the long diagonal. a5, a4, with the idea of rook a5. These are just ideas. Or even b6, bishop b7, and then rook to d5. That looks good. So you see, you gotta make your pieces, you gotta help your pieces so they help you. Okay? So let's go back to the actual game and let's see what happens. Oh my god, he didn't take the bishop. But this knight is okay there. Like, you can just push a pawn there and chase the knight away. You don't need to give up your bishop for it. So you create some left. He wants to trade everything, leading to a draw. Well, I would just push the pawn here, followed by rook a e1 and bishop to either g5, probably g5, or h6, but probably g5. You can't get attacked. I would instantly play rook to e8 in this position, probably block, and maybe get the rook out into this position. But you see how I'm moving all my pieces towards the middle? That's what you want to do. Control the middle. So he trades. Makes no sense. He's trying to double up and attack this, but it's never going to come to fruition. That's not a good move because you're ignoring his threat. You can't do that. That's actually going to be a threat. Okay? So you need to play rook a d8 and rook 8 d7, and you're also overprotecting this pawn. And if he decides to do something tricky like en passant, I mean c4, you do en passant, and then you can take here, and this rook is protecting f7. Remember, you moved it from d8 to d7. You can't ignore his threats like that, because afterwards, look what you have to do. That's not good. You're putting a rook in a passive position. That's not good. Rook endgames are won by the more active rook, always. Just look at all of Capablanca's games, which I actually will be doing, so stay tuned. Rook f6, that's a meh move. I would probably say king to g7 is the best move here. You play something that is not bad in the position, and now you play king g7, that's good. No, you can't. You need to get this rook more active, okay? When you move the pawn here, this actually creates a target of attack. I don't think it can be actually attacked in this position, but maybe e5. I haven't actually calculated too deeply into this position, but these are just possibilities. But if I had to play something in a bullet game, I don't play much bullet though, I'd probably... I'd probably try to play g4 and try to gain king side space, since this is where my advantage is at. Okay. And I notice that it's probably going to be a draw. It's probably going to be a draw. So, king f2, f5, f5. You want to isolate your own pawn? Nah, that's not good. You have to keep less pawn islands in the pawn endgame that ensues. This is an easy target for white, okay? This pawn is blocked and it's contained by this pawn, so it's not even passed. So you can't easily manage your king over there because of h4. How are you going to attack that rook? Maybe here? But he just simply protects with this, and he keeps his king there. Or otherwise keeps his king here and prevents your rook access. Though you do have access with the rook here, but you don't really have much. It's you give up the chances with the bishop here. But let's see what happens next. Okay, I forgot that they can make mistakes. So here you can create another pawn island, and now he's got 1, 2, 3 pawn islands. Before he only had 2. Oh, look, that's what happened in the game, right? Oh, never mind. So, oh no, you missed your chance here. You simply just push the pawn and that's it. That's called an intermediate move. It means it happens in between the action. So instead of capturing this, you just push this and you win. This is basically the trump card, meaning that that card, you play it and they cannot do anything. Okay, it's not anything else. So yeah, no, you lost your chance there again. I would definitely look for intermediate moves. I see that you're missing tactics, and you need to keep the bishop here so that you can unleash those tactics. So I would recommend you play more games with the bishop here. Let's see what happened in the end here, since I'm out of time. Over here, you need to push c4. Like this is a gap. Oh wait, is he out of the square? I'm looking at this possibility. c5, c4, pawn takes, d3, pawn takes, and then you queen. But I think he simply has, after this move, he doesn't have to take your pawn. Maybe he goes back there, but then you gain space. Yeah. That's a consideration to think about. I haven't calculated it to its full extent. This could be a mistake because he's got to pass the pawn himself. Okay, and oh, that's a blunder because he could have just taken this, and if you take back, he basically pushes. You have to hold that, and then this, right? And there's no time to break through. For example, if you play this move, he doesn't have to take the. He could just do this actually and hold everything. So let's see what happened in the end. Well, that doesn't make sense. Oh my goodness. Okay, in this position, yeah. That's a mistake because you have a passed pawn here and you need to get this one. So, you don't have any moves, so you need to do this thing called like triangulation. But there's no chance. So let's see. I know that there's something here. Hold on. I skipped too far ahead. I know that there's something here. But I'm out of time, so I don't have time to calculate it. Why would you need to queen that pawn when you can just use your queen already to checkmate him? It shouldn't take you more than 5 moves to checkmate him from this position. Okay, just drive him to the edge, and it's gonna be good. Alright, we're out of time on that video, but I hope that I was able to help you regarding the earlier topics. You need to keep a bishop here so you can use more tactics. Don't try to simplify to an ending too quickly because there was nothing there in that ending. Like it's hard for me to even win something like that. You want your wins to come easy like this, and you want to end the king. And that's with the bishop here. So I hope you liked this video. Make sure to click the thumbs up button if you liked it. Also make sure to subscribe for more content, and I'll see you on the next one.